When we were kids, तो पता चलता था कि fog क्या है और smoke क्या है. It cannot be so blinding. These days it's crazy.
एयर पोल्यूशन को लेके एक तो ये प्रॉब्लम होती है कि नोज ब्लॉक हो जाती है, सांस लेने में दिक्कत होती है.
ब्रीदिंग प्रॉब्लम बहुत ज़्यादा हो रहा है, स्किन में इरिटेशन हो रहा है एंड ऑब्वियसली मैं वर्कआउट नहीं कर पा रही हूँ.
I guess breathing problem, the major problem.
While I'm running on stairs, like second floor पे ही, तो मुझे लाइक पहले कभी ऐसे ब्रीथिंग प्रॉब्लम होता ही नहीं था, नो इशू, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं था. बट अब मुझे होने लगा है. लाइक सेकंड फ्लोर पे जाते आई वाज लाइक ओ माय गॉड.
When this fog and smoke they mix together and the kind of layer that they form, the visibility is almost zero. It's so tough to breathe, and I think it's very unhealthy.
On the occasion of Palmocon, this program is being organized by Mulchand MedCity, Delhi Medical Association at Mulchand Hospital, New Delhi. What is our agenda today? Our agenda today is to discuss on air pollution, bronchitis, asthma and allergies. And I think the burning problem today is air pollution. Is this air pollution a disaster for us? We really want you to address which are the most important pollutants which our citizens should know. How this pollution affects our health? What is this so-called air quality index? And what is the indoor pollution and the outdoor pollution? And what are the causes of indoor and outdoor pollution?
First, let us understand what is air pollution. Air pollution is anything which adulterates air, be it gases or particles, as you very rightly said, which affects our health. So, first I will address particulate matter, because that is everybody's concern. You hear PM10, PM2.5. So, why PM10 is important? PM10 is important because any particle which is more than 10 microns doesn't get into our lung because there is a filter in the nose. PM2.5 is more important because these are the particles which reach our lowest part of the lung where gas exchange takes place. Now, when we say PM2.5, 60 micron is acceptable, 120 is not acceptable, particulate matter is not one. It depends upon whether it is coming from petrol, it is coming from diesel, it is coming from coal, firecrackers, or it is coming from dust which is going on. So, the harmful effects of particulate matter will be determined by the content of that. Besides that, there is something called, which media is not telling, is ultra fine particulate matter. These are particulate which are 0.1 micron and smaller. These are the particulate which actually enter the alveoli, that is the lowest part of the lung, get absorbed. Through the blood vessel, they go all through the brain, the heart, the blood vessel, the kidney, the intestine. So, this particulate matter not only affects lung, it affects our heart, it causes more heart attacks, it affects our brain, it causes more brain attacks, it occurs our general well-being. As far as the lung is concerned, it causes soreness of the throat to start with, it causes dryness which we all feel nowadays, it causes cough and it causes breathlessness. This all can occur in the healthy people.
Neeraj, we come across a lot of patients, especially, Dr. Khilani just mentioned that elderly people are more vulnerable and children are more vulnerable. What kind of pollutants we see in indoor pollution?
Indoor pollution has everything that the outdoor pollution has. Our houses are open to the exterior. We do not live in closed air conditioned environments. There is an immediate effect of air pollution which affects all of us. We'll discuss that subsequently also. Then there is a longer term effect. You have your children going to school early morning, in the winters, in the smog. Some of these children stand outside in the assemblies. They are playing outside when the sun is still not out. And when we exercise, we breathe in 6 times more the amount of air that we would breathe at rest. And that is the quantum of the pollutants that is getting into your system. Now, what is going to be the status of health of these children 15 years later, nobody knows even. But the present data is there to suggest that it's going to be grim. These children will be retarded mentally and physically, in my opinion, in a world where it is very competitive and these children require to be at the peak of their health in every way. So I think we do need to take that into account. We generate all kinds of fumes, and we are using all kinds of aerosols and deodorants and mosquito repellents. Now it's all very well to say we can use mosquito repellents, but sometimes we go to the extreme, just to try and get rid of the mosquitoes. Now all that, what it does is that 24 hours a day we are breathing polluted air.
And what precautions we should tell to our audience here, as a children or as a adults, what they should observe so that they don't fall victim to so-called air pollution toxicity?
Elderly people who usually have other comorbidities like diabetes or heart disease or kidney disease or liver disease definitely suffer more. This time of the year, we see the incidence of hospitalizations, admissions to ICUs go up tremendously with elderly people coming in with bad lungs or bad hearts. So indoor pollution has to be controlled by controlling outdoor pollution mainly. But to add to that, I think cigarette smoke, we should focus on the important messages, that cigarette smoke is probably one of the most important things. But in the rural areas, you have biomass fuels, which are the other factor which causes a lot of COPD. And that is something, most of our population lives in the rural areas. So biomass fuels, which are used for cooking inside the house, are probably as important. Now, if there was a way where I could give my family at least 8 hours of very clean air overnight, it would go a long way in not really compensating for what they do during the day, but at least it would partly reverse the damage and give the time to the body to recover.
So I think I'd like to ask Dr. Mangla, what are your views on do's and don'ts to prevent the indoor pollution? What we should do and what we should not do?
Well, regarding indoor pollution, I think as Dr. Neeraj said, the pollution outside and inside, it is the same contribution. Cigarette smoking is there. Somebody says air filters, what is to be done about that? Is there any role? Everybody has bought that. Now, if there is no data that if we are using air filters, this thing has gone less or more. The idea is that out of 24 hours, if you are breathing pure air for 8 hours, it's a welcome step. And these air purifiers, first they are eradicating these particles, 10 particulate matters of 2.5 and 10, and then these gases in the next filter are absorbed and you are getting a pure air.
Indoor air pollution, as per the WHO report 2015, has caused 10 lakh deaths every year. We all probably, everybody buys an air purifiers and keeps. So I want to tell you a few things about that, which Dr. Pawan also mentioned. It has two things. One is a filter which filters out particulate matter. Other thing is adsorbitant, not absorbitant, adsorbitant. The filter will absorb particles, the adsorbitant will soak gases like nitric oxide, sulfur dioxide and all those things. Not all the air purifiers have adsorbitant. That is one. Second thing is that your capacity of your air purifier should be commensurate with the volume of the room. One should not keep an air purifier in the center of the room and put it on and say that I am breathing good air. No. The moment you open the door of the room, even for a few seconds, the air gets equalized. So therefore, the purifier has to be good. It requires maintenance. Change of filter, change of adsorbent. Lastly, the room has to be closed. If somebody is coming and going in that room, it makes no sense.
For indoor air pollution, the other thing which we don't sometimes take into account is the allergens which are indoors. The house dust mite, the insect dust, which are important causes of asthma and sometimes are a part of our indoor environment. So we should be able to cleanse that, avoid having fully carpeted rooms where there's dampness, where you're not cleaning them adequately. That's one more thing. Last few years, I've been very active in some of the campaigns against pollution. We've even given directives to schools, which would be important for, from the public point of view, as to what should be done in terms of, I've prepared a one-page guideline for schools for the time being. Any exercising, outdoor exercising, should be limited to times when the smog has lifted. It should be at least 200 meters away from any construction site or road repair.
We see this air quality index score. This is a score, no exercises today. I think it's a very important message, a precaution. Similarly, if this is the index, your assembly may not be done today. Maybe you can have an indoor prayer or whatever, you can do it. So I think this strategic change is required to help our children not to fall victim to the air pollution. One more important thing is I see very often these days reported in the newspaper, so-called air quality index. We'd like to have some discussion on what is this air quality index. Is it so hyper variable, sometimes 200, 250, 300? I know the ideal has to be 50 or less than 50 or 100, that's what I understand, but I'm sure Dr. Khilani will throw some light on this.
Air quality index is a single digit expression of air pollution. What we did was that scientifically give weightage to each air pollutant, PM 2.5 or PM 10, whatever was available in a particular area, nitric oxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide. Lead was not considered because lead is no more, and ozone measurement is very limited in this country. We don't measure ozone, it requires so the particular weightage was given and the AQI is calculated based on that. So AQI is a comprehensive expression of our air quality. So it's extremely important, and then you get up in the morning, you know that AQI is hazardous or very bad or orange or red. It only tells what is the air quality in your city.
And what are the factors which really influence the air pollution in the morning hours, in the afternoon hours or in the evening hours, so that we can educate our community that these are the precautions they should observe, and everybody should have a so-called measurement of index. Should we have a measure in every house, in every family or every institution?
In the morning, if the air quality is bad and you don't see the shining sun, if you walk or exercise, then your nasal filter does not work, because when you breathe fast, when you run or walk, you breathe through the mouth, so the filter is bypassed and you breathe 5-6 times the more air which you normally breathe. So you are actually taking air pollutants. There is more harm than the benefit. And this was proven in a study which was done in London.
Ideally, the air quality index should be, there should be a red flag or an orange flag or green flag every day, which will say, is it safe to exercise today or not? So, those are some of the things that we have to do immediately. The London smog, which Dr. Khilani referred to, when they realized that it was a problem, it took London 10 years to get all the Clean Air Acts through and before they could implement all the laws. I shudder to think what we will do because, unfortunately, our government is not prepared to declare this as an emergency also right now, when it should have at least declared air pollution as an emergency.
So I think everything has to be considered, and a very important message given by Neeraj is that he has prepared a charter. We see this air quality index score. This is a score, no exercises today. I think it's a very important message, a precaution. There is a lot of confusion in the mind of the people. Which kind of mask? For how long? We'd like to ask you, are the masks really helpful?
It's very important. First and foremost, very hard-hitting statement that ordinary surgical mask is useless. There is no point in putting up a mask and going out thinking that you have put on a mask so you are protected. Absolutely no. If you want to use a mask, you have to use at least N95 masks which are available. And what it does is that it will filter the particulate matter. It won't filter the gases though, even at that time. But even if you are protected from particulate matter, it's actually very important. But I want to warn you, because we wear these masks when we do bronchoscopies in an infected patient or whatever. It's not easy to tolerate that mask. First thing, the mask should be fitting very properly. If you leave some area which is not tight to the skin, the air finds its way from the lowest resistance. So the air will go from that and you will not be protected. If you are able to wear it properly, then you will certainly in the beginning find difficult to breathe out, and you might feel little claustrophobia, but over a period of time you get used to it.
Easier said than done. You have to try to wear this mask and try yourself how long can you wear it.
Yeah.
I wonder the doctors sitting in H1N1 ICUs who are, I think it's a punishment. It's not easy to wear these masks.
I said that. There's a breathing out is difficult. We see it all the time.
So there are two other issues to add to that. The disposable N95 masks, you can't keep using for days together. There's a cost factor to that also. Then you have these masks which have you have washable masks which have an exhalation port, which has a one-way valve, where the breathing out is a little easier, and some of them are reusable. But that mask can cost up to about 4,000 rupees if I'm not mistaken.
And how long we can use
But that can be reused, that is washable also. The ordinary N95 mask, if you are spending say 2,000 rupees a month on just masks, it's something that has to be factored in. I think, I'm not an activist, but I think one day in a month, all children should be given a mask and they should wear masks. The whole city should be seen with masks. It is a reminder. It is not, I keep stressing, we are not realizing the seriousness of this problem still. We are living on a day-to-day basis. We are not taking enough action to stop this.
Obviously, you cannot be wearing it 24 hours a day. So, you should know first who should wear it. The one who have got asthma or bronchitis or heart disease or who is susceptible, I would say, he should wear it all the time when he goes out, especially in this season.
Very nice.
And those who are healthy and they are very finicky about going for a morning walk, they can't do without it. Their systems are such that they feel the life has come to standstill. They can wear that mask and go out.
Good message.
But they have to
Very
get
nice.
used to it. That's about it.
I think it's a very important message by Dr. Khilnani to all the people who are morning walkers. And he says those who are tough morning walkers, those who can't resist not to go. I think it's a very important message. Please put on a mask and go. The message is sattvic air, sattvic emotions, sattvic thought and sattvic environment. We need to sit back and have a perfect mindset what we should do in a particular situation to prevent the pollution. We all should become one. That is the only way we can fight with this menace. And I think the policies will really help us. To what extent mask will help us, to what extent air purifier will help us, and I'm sure air conditioning will help us. Of course, we need to do more work on it. The time has come, we have to act together. It's not an individual problem. It's a problem of each and every one of us. And every one of us should have an awakening. That all our pharmaceutical companies, whether any company who is dealing with the antibiotics or with nebulizers or even with the masks or with purifiers, they must come forward and they should support this unique project of so-called asthma care, bronchitis care or allergy care or air pollution care. That air pollution management is the need of the hour and every one of us should be a part of it. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be with all of you. Thank you.